Quick warning, this video will contain spoilers. I do not want any of you to be exposed to stuff you didn't know of the anime, so if you have not caught up to One Piece or finished Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, I recommend that you click off of the video. I will be talking about. So with any further ado, let's get into the video. Hello my lovely cups, I am the Dragon Lord, and welcome to my first explanation video. In this video we will cover how the rinnegan will be implemented in the world of One Piece, along with some other stuff like Haki. First of all, I would like to say that chakra will be stronger than Haki, and Haki and chakra are kind of similar, just chakra is a stronger version. Take the King's Color, like they say at the end of One Piece, or something like that. And Luffy will get a lot of Haki / chakra. Well, he has a lot in the series, but he will get even way more because he ate the rinnegan Umi, which will be the name of the rinnegan's devil fruit. That said, he will be able to use the 5 basic chakra natures as well as yin and yang release, but he won't be using those that often. Luffy will also be able to use the 6 paths of the rinnegan. That being the Diva path, the Asura path, the Human path, the Animal path, the Preta path, the Naraka path, and the Outer path. Luffy will be able to use all of these abilities of these paths. I will cover more of the abilities in a bit, so if you don't want to hear that, I'll tell you when you can leave. Now is going to come a very short bit, but this will explain a bit. So Haki will kind of be changed in this what if. I already said that chakra is stronger than Haki. Haki will now let you chakra natures, but at a very low level. So you could infuse your blade with fire and armament Haki, for example. The rinnegan will be part of a devil fruit, like I said, but this devil fruit will also have a little bit of Sage of 6 Paths chakra. This will give Luffy 2 Truth Seeker orbs to use, but only when he calls on them. They will not appear if he doesn't summon them. The rinnegan Umi fruit will also give the user 10 chances at life, so if you were to die, you would be revived by the fruit. Would not lose a fruit. This could be with this you could be able to use multiple devil fruit. This will come into play very early in the story. Alright, so since I've covered all of that, I will now be talking about some of the abilities the rinnegan has for people who don't know. If you do know, you can just click off or watch if you are interested. I also recommend to the people who are interested, there is a way better explanation on some of the abilities. Of course, I will be adding some special abilities for Luffy. The maker of that video is called Swagkaga. That's not his name. It's Swagkage. That you can go watch. I will link it in the description. So, want to watch that? You can go watch that. Right. So let's cover the rinnegan Umi. What it can do. So we shall start with the Diva path. This path grants the user the ability to manipulate attractive and repulsive forces. With objects and people, these gravity and manipulating techniques cannot be performed in rapid succession. The amount of time required for it to recharge after use varies, but Luffy will be able to use it every 5 seconds. The Diva path also grants the ability Shibaku Tensei, which allows the user to create a small black sphere. That kind of works like a black hole, but it will just make the Earth stick to it. So basically, it will make a small planet that can be used either to seal something inside of it, or as a weapon. Luffy will be able to use this in multiple ways. This path will also let the user fly after extensive training. With the path, as shown by Pain, Luffy will be able to fly, but only after the second time skip. The attractive and repulsive force techniques will also be used faster after the second time skip. Luffy will then be able to use them every 2 seconds. Next up is the Asura path. This path allows the user to augment their own body, to summon mechanized armor and various ballistic and mechanical weaponry. This path allows the user to form up to 4 additional arms and 2 additional faces, as well as a folded serrated blade-like sash around their waist. The user can also fire their fist like a rocket towards a person. Luffy uses this path a lot because he loves guns. Next up is the human path. This path grants the user the ability to read the mind of any target by placing his hand on the target's head or chest and pulling the soul out of the body. This technique inevitably kills the target. Luffy will be able to do this if it's really necessary. Next up is the animal path. The animal path allows the user to summon a various amount of animals and creatures to aid them in battle. These creatures are immortal because as soon as they die they can be resummoned by the user. Summoning creatures through the animal path requires no blood sacrifice or hand seal. The animal path can also summon people, but this will require Luffy to put a seal on them first. Luffy will be able to summon all of the summons from Naruto, which are a lot. Next up we have the Preda path, also my favorite path. In this what if, it grants Luffy the ability to absorb chakra slash haki. In any form, this means Luffy can steal haki or chakra, which lets him refuel his own. Luffy will also be able to absorb elements like water, fire, wind, and earth, and he will be able to release these in an ability unique. This is an ability unique to Luffy. I'll quickly explain how this works. So Luffy could, for example, put his hand on the earth and absorb a huge chunk of earth, like a mountain or something, and then he could drop that on a person. This could be helpful for a few things that happen in One Piece. Next up we have the Naraka path. This path grants Luffy two main abilities, interrogation and restoration, by using the King of Hell, which is a summon that will rip out the tongue of anyone who lies or doesn't talk when asked a question in its presence. Luffy will be able to heal people by throwing them inside the King of Hell's mouth, but Luffy will be able to heal himself at any time without summoning the King of Hell because of rigorous training after the second time skip. And finally, we have the Outer Path. This path grants Luffy the ability to control life and death. Luffy will be able to revive the dead that he killed or people that he marked once revived. Luffy will experience a lot of pain instead of death. This allows Luffy to transmit his chakra into this path will also allow Luffy to transmit his chakra into black rods, which will immobilize anyone, and this path also grants Luffy the ability to summon chakra chains, which will let him bind up anyone even if they are a Logia user. The chains work similarly to Sea Prism Stone, but Luffy isn't affected by it. A few other abilities Luffy will get are Limbo. After the second time skip, his rinnegan will transform into a Rinne Sharingan with 3 Tomoe in gear second. This will also be before the time skip, but after the time skip his normal will just be 3 Tomoe. In gear third he will also have 3 Tomoe, and 6 Tomoe in gear 4th Bounce Man, and 9 Tomoe in gear 4th Snake Man. 3 Tomoe will all allow Luffy to use basic Sharingan abilities. 6 Tomoe will allow Luffy to use Mangekyo Sharingan abilities as well as Sasuke's Rinnegan abilities. This will allow him to use Amaterasu, basically any of the Mangekyo Sharingan abilities of any Uchiha, and that means the perfect sealing of Itachi, he will be able to use that, but he can make it different in his own variation. He has the 9 Tomoe will make Luffy be able to cast the Infinite Tsukuyomi, but he will be able to use it only, like, he will be able to use it on one person, and they will not be released if he doesn't want them to release. He can release them, but he can like change it, so he can make them relive a past memory that they don't like a lot, or he can make them suffer like pain or something. They will only, be released when he wants them to. Luffy will be able to summon the Geto statue, and by pouring his own 6 paths chakra into it slowly over time, he will be able to create the 10 tails, which he will seal inside himself and tame. Luffy will also use a sword in this what if. I thought it might have been interesting because if he learns fast, he might be able to beat Mihawk by the time that they meet Mihawk in sword battles. And the final ability this fruit will give Luffy is the ability to learn fast, of course. Like I just said, he will learn extremely fast. Like, it's not even funny how fast he will learn. and then he will master the jutsus and his own devil fruit before he sets sail. So he might already have gear 2nd and gear 3rd before he sets sail in the first time skip. That was everything that I wanted to say. Part 1 will be either released today or tomorrow, so I'll see you lovely cubs in the next video.